The worst moment of my life happened at my own birthday party. Not when my daughter-in-law insulted me, not when she laughed in my face, but when she looked directly at my wife, the woman who sacrificed everything for this family, and said, "Maybe if you dressed less cheap, people would actually respect you." The room went silent. My wife lowered her eyes. My son said nothing, and everyone pretended not to hear it. That was the exact moment something inside me changed, because what my daughter-in-law didn't know was that the house she was living in, the business my son depended on, and the luxury life she showed off online all existed because of my wife. And before the night was over, I decided I was going to teach her a lesson she would never forget. But what happened next destroyed the entire family. My name is Daniel Mercer. I'm 62 years old. For most of my life, I believed family was everything. I worked 16-hour days building my construction company from nothing. No vacations, no weekends, no shortcuts. My wife, Helen, stood beside me through all of it. She raised our son while I worked. She skipped buying new clothes so we could pay bills. She sold her jewelry once so we wouldn't lose the house. Nobody knew that part of the story, especially not my daughter-in-law, Vanessa. To the outside world, Vanessa looked perfect, elegant, confident, educated, but behind closed doors, she had a talent for making people feel small, especially Helen. At first, the comments were subtle. "Oh, Helen, you still use cash? That handbag is vintage, I guess. You wouldn't understand modern investing." Tiny little cuts, and Helen always smiled through it. That's what hurt the most. But my birthday dinner would change everything. The restaurant was expensive. Vanessa picked it. Private room, gold decorations, fancy wine. She posted everything online before dinner even started. My son, Eric, looked exhausted, but Vanessa controlled every conversation. Then Helen arrived. Simple navy blue dress, small silver necklace, warm smile. To me, she looked beautiful, but Vanessa glanced at her and smirked. I noticed it immediately. Then the gift started. Vanessa handed me a luxury watch. Everyone clapped. Then Helen quietly gave me an old leather box. Inside was my father's repaired pocket watch, the same one I thought was destroyed 30 years ago. I almost cried. But before I could say anything, Vanessa laughed. Not a polite laugh, a cruel one. "Wow, that's sentimental." The room got awkward. Then she added, "I guess when you can't afford real gifts, emotional ones have to do the job." Silence. Complete silence. And that wasn't even the worst thing she said. Helen tried to smile, but I saw her hands shaking. Then Vanessa took another sip of wine and looked directly at my wife. "Honestly, Helen, Daniel built an empire. You could at least try to look the part." I froze. My son looked down at the table. "Coward." Helen whispered, "I'm comfortable the way I am." Vanessa smirked. "Comfortable? Or stuck in the past?" A few people nervously laughed. That laugh broke something inside me. Not because of Vanessa, because nobody defended Helen. Not even our son. And then Helen quietly excused herself to cry alone in the restroom. I found Helen standing in front of the mirror, trying not to cry. She kept fixing her makeup even though her hands were trembling. Then she looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "Maybe she's right. Maybe I embarrass you." That sentence hit harder than any insult ever could, because this woman gave me everything, and somehow she believed she wasn't enough. He held her hand, and in that moment, I made a decision. Vanessa wasn't going to get away with this. Back at the table, Vanessa was showing guests photos of her luxury vacations. Designer bags, expensive hotels, champagne, all funded by my son, and indirectly, by me. Then one of the guests accidentally revealed something shocking. Vanessa had been secretly telling people that she helped save our family business financially. That was a lie. A massive lie. She had been using our family name to build her social media image, pretending she came from wealth, pretending she was self-made. That's when I realized Vanessa cared about only one thing: status. And suddenly, I knew exactly how to destroy her world without touching her. I smiled for the first time that night, and Vanessa mistook it for weakness. People think revenge is loud. Real revenge is silent. The next morning, I started making calls. See, the house Eric and Vanessa lived in? It was under my company trust. The luxury SUV leased through my business. The credit cards funding Vanessa's perfect life? authorized through accounts I controlled. I had never cared before. Until now, I wasn't going to scream at her. I wasn't going to insult her back. I was simply going to remove the illusion she built her identity around. Piece by piece, I called my son into my office. He looked nervous. I asked him one question. Why didn't you defend your mother? He had no answer. Just silence. Then excuses. Vanessa didn't mean it like that. You know how she is. No. I didn't know how she was. Because I would never allow anyone to disrespect my wife. Not even family. Then I handed him paperwork. Property transfer cancellations. Financial account removals. Vehicle repossession notices. His face turned pale. Dad, you can't be serious. I looked him dead in the eye. Your wife humiliated the woman who built this family. I'm completely serious. But Eric still had no idea what Vanessa was hiding from him. A week later, my accountant uncovered something disturbing. Vanessa had been secretly spending thousands every month pretending to be a luxury influencer. Fake partnerships, fake appearances, fake branding. Debt was piling up fast. Eric had no idea. She was drowning financially while pretending to live perfectly online. And suddenly, my revenge plan became much bigger. I invited everyone to another dinner. Vanessa arrived, smiling, confident, probably expecting an apology from me. Instead, I made a toast. I thanked Helen for every sacrifice she made for this family. Then I projected old photos onto the wall. Photos nobody had seen before. Helen working double shifts. Helen pregnant while helping me paint our first office. Helen selling her jewelry. The room became emotional. Then I calmly said, everything this family owns exists because of this woman. Vanessa's smile disappeared. And then, I revealed the financial truth. The house wasn't theirs. The cars weren't theirs. The lifestyle wasn't theirs. And effective immediately, all financial support was over. The room exploded. Vanessa panicked instantly. Not emotionally, financially. Within days, her social media image started falling apart. Trips cancelled. Brand deals disappeared. Friends stopped calling. Because those people never loved her. They loved the lifestyle. And without it, she had nothing. A month later, Vanessa showed up at my house alone. No designer clothes. No fake confidence. Just anger. Then tears. She accused me of ruining her life. I stayed calm. And finally said the words I had waited weeks to say. No. You ruined your own life the moment you mistreated the kindest person in this family. Silence. Then Helen walked into the room. And instead of insulting Vanessa, she offered her tea. That destroyed Vanessa more than revenge ever could. Because kindness exposes cruelty better than anger. Eric eventually left Vanessa. Not because of money, because he finally realized who she truly was. Months later, Helen and I took our first vacation in 20 years. No business calls, no family drama, just peace. One night, sitting beside the ocean, Helen asked me, "Do you regret what happened?" I looked at her, the woman who gave me her entire life, and I answered honestly, "The only thing I regret is not defending you sooner." Thawed out,